Mondays suck. um, no, but for real, I actually have been doing great still. I've been feeling stable and neutral. And this morning I got really overwhelmed with my daughter. She's teething. She was cranky and tired, and I'm trying to feed her. And it had peanut butter in it, and she's like flinging it everywhere. I got it all over her face. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. My husband's nowhere to be found. I have a million things to do, and I got overwhelmed and stressed. But I want to highlight that that's normal to get overwhelmed sometimes with life, to get stressed sometimes with life, especially, with a teething child. Um, but, I still got things done, started the laundry, went to the store, did the grocery shopping, came home, ate lunch, made some food for me and my daughter and my husband. And so I bounced back from it pretty good, and I didn't let it, it didn't completely knock me off and make it hard for me the rest of the day. So to me, that's a good sign, because that means I'm mentally doing well. I'm still doing pretty neutral and stable, because I wouldn't have handled what happened this morning as well if I wasn't feeling well stably. Because I started to get anxiety, and I was still able to go to the store, and I did fine. While I was in the store, though, because I was feeling overwhelmed and anxious, I kept to my list. I just went to each section, got what I needed, kept my head down, didn't talk to anyone, didn't really talk with my husband unless I had to, and just kind of got in, got what I needed, and got out. And so that helped also, instead of just kind of lingering, and I kept away from other people. And so, yeah, overall, it's a good sign that I handled, my stressful morning well, and I bounced back from it, and now things are starting to calm down for the day, and I'm actually feeling good, and I'm feeling stable, and I feel like I can just kind of sit down for a moment and relax while my daughter's napping, and take some breaths and have a little snack to myself, and not let what happened this morning ruin my whole day, which is great, because if I wasn't doing well mentally, probably we would be having a different conversation right now. Anyways, well, happy Monday, everyone. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, it's Taco Tuesday. I love Taco Tuesday. I actually am making a shredded beef with spices and stuff, so I can have tacos tonight, homemade tacos, because I love eating tacos on Tuesday. It's just something I kind of started doing years ago on my own, because I just felt like it was something to kind of just make the week a little more fun. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. In case you need the reminder, happiness is not a destination. Okay? You can find happiness along the way, in the little things in life. And, as much as we hate it, life is a roller coaster. You're going to have ups and downs, sometimes big ups, sometimes really lows. And I find having bipolar disorder kind of intensifies that, more often. But, I'm really trying to just remember to find happiness in the little moments in the day. So, I don't know, a little food for thought there. But I wanted to share with you guys that I'm feeling a little mixed right now, emotionally. So last night I started to have a lot of anxiety and started to kind of feel kind of like I was spiraling a little bit again, like I was being triggered again. And I'm a little frustrated because I feel like I don't know how to turn this off, so it's a little frustrating. But today I'm also feeling kind of really happy and energetic and hopeful, and then there's a part of me that's feeling kind of emotional and sad. So I'm feeling very mixed right now. I don't know if I'm starting to have, like, feel a little on the depressive side or a little on the hypomania side. So I think I'm just going to stick with my normal routine today and kind of just wait to see how the rest of today goes and just try to, like, gauge, like, okay, which way am I going? Because if I don't know if I'm going to the hypomania side or the depressive side, I don't know what to do. I don't know which, you know, coping skills to implement. Do I, take some supplements to help give me a mood boost if I'm starting to go to the depressive side? Or am I going to the hypomania side? And do I need to kind of stay away from things that are going to make me feel more excited, like caffeine, sugar, you know, extra stimulants, like, certain movies or things that make me, like, super, super happy, because it just kind of adds and adds up. So I don't know, guys. I'm a little, like, I'm not sure which way I'm going right now. So I'm just gonna kind of do my routine today, kind of just try to stay neutral as much as I can, and then just kind of wait to see if it resolves itself over the next day or two, or try and figure out, okay, which way am I going, and then I can figure out what I'm gonna do. So I don't know, guys. I'm just gonna wait it out. So I will update you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, so I'm feeling a little down today. It's just like a light layer of feeling down. I'm feeling kind of, like, emotional. I keep wanting to, like, cry at, like, little things that kind of spark, like, an emotional response. Like, I was watching a movie. I don't even remember what it was. And I started to feel, like, emotional, and, like, I wanted to cry, and I was just like, what is wrong with me? Like, almost like when I was pregnant, I just felt extra emotional. And so I was like, okay, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know where it's coming from. So I was trying to put my daughter down for a nap a few hours ago, and I just sat there while holding her. I wasn't on my phone or anything or watching TV. It was just quiet. And I just kind of, like, kept asking myself, like, internally, like, what's going on? Like, why am I feeling this way? What's coming up? And I started to feel sad about my dad. Quick context here. My dad, I'm my dad's only child. I have two brothers, but they're through my mom. My dad and mom divorced when I was 5. They both remarried. My dad remarried to my stepmom. My stepmom emotionally abused me my whole childhood. And I still kept going over there, though, because I wanted to be around my dad my whole childhood. I loved my dad. My dad was my whole world growing up. So when I turned 17, though, I finally just got fed up of everything. My whole childhood was stressful, chaotic, just a lot of trauma, and I couldn't take it anymore. So one day I stopped going to my dad's because I got fed up, and we all got in a fight, me, him, and my stepmom. My dad never called, never texted me, never reached out. I was devastated, obviously, because I felt like he chose my stepmom and didn't even bother to reach out. So anyway, so the next day, I told my friend, cried about it for a minute. The bell rang, had to go into class. And I remember as I was walking to class, I just kind of, it's like subconsciously, I think my mind and body knew that I couldn't handle it all. Because my biggest fear had come true. My dad didn't choose me. So it was just like everything that I had dealt with my whole childhood had just come to a head. And it was just kind of like, too much, can't handle this. So I remember as I got up and started walking to class, it was like my brain just took it all, everything, and just packed it in a box and put it so deep in my mind. And I did not deal with any of it for about 8 to 9 years. I literally repressed everything, memories, feelings, just all of it. Didn't think about it, didn't touch it, was like it never happened. And I just moved on and tried to just forget all of it happened without even trying. It's like my brain just did it on its own. And my therapist actually a few years ago told me that this is a thing. Sometimes when something traumatic happens to someone, your brain will go and kind of like just pack it away. You'll repress it till you can and are ready to deal with it. So a few years ago, I finally started to unpack it, but it was all too much, and too much happened while I was also repressing it. So then there was even more to unpack. Long story short, every once in a while, I randomly will get sad about my dad. I miss him, or I'm feeling sad about him not being in my life, or I'm angry, or just whatever. It's mainly sadness. I think I've kind of gotten past the anger part. It's more just sad now. My therapist told me that it's almost like I'm grieving someone that's died, but he hasn't. He's alive. Um, but he's not in my life at all. So some days I don't even know what triggered it. Usually I don't. Sometimes it just comes up. Sometimes something reminds me of him or a memory or something. I don't even know. So I just have this like underlying layer today of just feeling sad about my dad. And it's just kind of there. I feel okay mentally, like I'm still getting things done and stuff like that, but it's definitely, I can feel it's there and it needs to come out. Meaning I need to, whatever's coming up, I need to let out and feel it, cry, kind of just feel the sadness, process it, just kind of let it go. And it does this in layers. So I've been doing this for a little while now. I've had these like layers coming up and I deal with them as I go because I didn't deal with it for 8 to 9 years at all, like at all. So, my mind and body is just kind of dealing with it in pieces and processing it in pieces because I never really dealt with all of the pain and things that happened to me as a child growing up. So I tried to put my daughter down for her nap and she wouldn't stay asleep because I was going to, while she napped, I really wanted to cry. So I was like, okay, this is great. It's coming up right now. I'm going to cry. I'm going to get it out while she's napping. She did not want to stay down for a nap. So I was like, crap. So I had to pick her up. I had to take her downstairs and everything inside of me just wanted to break down crying and just feel sad and cry. But I couldn't, because I can't life has to keep going. So I've learned that if something's trying to come up and I can't let it out at a certain moment, I try to just tell my body and mind, okay, I understand, I feel you, but I can't do this right now. You're going to have to wait a little bit. So I kind of told myself that, either at her next nap or tonight after she goes to sleep, I will let this out and cry about it a little. Maybe I'll do it in the shower tonight. But I have to let it out because if I keep it in, it's just going to build up and get worse. And that's what happened to me for 8 to 9 years. Everything built up. And then I just got worse and worse and worse. And that's when my bipolar disorder just really came to a head, was because I was just avoiding everything. So, and then also I found myself after her nap and I brought her back downstairs. I put her in her pack and play to play independently. And then I sat on the couch and I'm sitting there watching this movie because I just was trying to distract myself not to cry. And I felt myself like going into like this like zombie mode. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't go into this mode right now. Like my daughter needs me. So What I did was, as soon as I recognized I was starting to go into a daze, I got right up and I found things to do. I cleaned or made food, got up, I played with my daughter. Like, I just found anything and everything that I could do to just keep myself out of my head. That is not a healthy coping skill long term because I did that for upwards of 10 years. um, and it resulted in a lot of mess for me. So, but it's a good coping skill short term until I can find a moment for myself to really let out this sadness that I'm feeling. And this has happened before many times, and I know it sucks in the moment when I'm feeling it. I hate feeling this sadness, but I always feel better the next day after letting it out because it's like something inside of me that needs to get out. It's like I'm storing all these emotions in my body that are wanting to come out. It's like a bubble, ready to pop. And so I need to let it pop and I need to let it out. So I'm going to do that tonight. And then I'm hoping tomorrow I'll feel a little bit better. And this kind of like underlying sadness will hopefully kind of let up a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep going through the day and my routine. And then tonight, I'm probably going to do it in the shower. Is my best bet because I do live in a house full of a bunch of other people and I don't want them to hear me crying. Also too, I want to note though, I know that I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so some people are like, you don't work, it's hard when you to do some of the things that I say to do when you're working. So before I had my daughter, I actually worked full-time since I was like 15. So I know how hard it can be to take care of your mental health while working. Because if you're at work, you can't just stop what you're doing and go cry in the bathroom sometimes. So a lot of the things that I do apply to work too. So like today, if I wasn't at home with my daughter and say I was at work, the same thing would apply. I would wait and hold it in and tell myself, okay, I'll let it out tonight when I get home from work or on the drive home or in the bathroom at lunchtime. And just kind of keep myself busy. If you have a job where sometimes you find yourself, bored or not really having much to do, find something to do. Distract yourself, you know, until you can get to your car or your bathroom or get home and have a moment to yourself to let it out. Just you got to get creative, think outside the box, figure out what you can do, because you can't just start crying at work, and I can't just start crying and losing it in front of my daughter and not getting things done. I have to feed her, I have to take care of her, I have to take care of myself, I gotta feed myself. Like, I can't just the world's just not gonna pause for me to have a little bit of a freak out or crying session. So you just really gotta fit that into your schedule though. Like, I can't just ignore it, I have to make time for it, which is what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to take a shower after my daughter goes to bed, and I'm going to make sure that I give myself permission to let whatever the sadness that's coming up today out. Because if I don't, it's just going to bubble up more, and then it's going to cause more of a problem down the line in a couple of days. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. It's rough. But overall, I'm feeling good. So I'll update you guys tomorrow. Hey guys. So I'm actually feeling pretty good today. I'm not gonna lie though, I did not cry last night. Whatever was trying to come up yesterday, I think I accidentally shoved it a little too much back into my mind and body. So some context there. When it comes to emotions and feelings and trauma surrounding my dad coming up, sometimes I have a really hard time letting it in because it hurts. Um, I have some abandonment issues, a lot of grief there, a lot of pain, a lot of confusion. There's just a lot of emotion surrounding my dad and everything that's happened. So sometimes when those emotions start to come up, sometimes I run from them, and I push them away. So, and then I have a hard time tapping back into it to feel it. So I'm just gonna let, it went away, and I'm sure it'll come up again eventually. So I'm just gonna kind of just not even worry about it too much, because I don't want to like look for problems. Like, it'll come up when it's meant to come up again, and I'll feel it then. But today, like, I'm feeling pretty good, and I wanted to share this video I found last night, that I actually found super interesting. I haven't finished watching it because I started to fall asleep last night, and I just haven't had time to finish it. But I just happened upon it. I wasn't even looking for it. And it was 11 oddly specific childhood trauma issues. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I started watching it, and I was like, oh my God, like, pretty much every single thing that he talked about, I related to. And I don't know, I just find like knowing more about how, when you have childhood trauma, how that can affect you later on in life. I find that to be really useful information, because then it's like helpful to know, okay, I'm not going crazy. Oh, my hair people calling me. Hold on, guys. Sorry, guys. I have been complaining about my hair for weeks now, and I finally put a reminder on my phone to call a salon and make an appointment to get my hair cut and fixed up, because this messy bun I've been doing every day, and I'm not feeling it no more. So anyways, so yeah, so I watched this video about the childhood trauma issues, and I just found it super super interesting. So I'm actually going to put the link in the comments, so that you guys, if anyone's interested in watching it, go for it. It's a little long, so I didn't watch it in one sitting. I'll finish it later. But it made me think about, though, my bipolar disorder, because I truly believe that I developed bipolar disorder as a result of multiple factors. So depression runs on my mom's side of the family. So that's already kind of just a little bit of a factor there. Then all the stress and chaotic childhood I had, all the traumas, that also, I feel like, is a factor. And then finally, I think the real big defining factor that caused me to really develop bipolar disorder was the fact that I didn't actually deal with any of my trauma for a good 8 to like 10 years. Like I mentioned the other day, I just kind of like repressed it all and just pretended like none of it happened. And in that 8 to 10 years was where I really just started to slowly, like, my bipolar disorder really just started to like flare up. But it was a slow progression. I think because the longer I went without dealing with my past and my trauma, the more it just built up in my mind and my body. I know a lot of people go around and they're like, oh, bipolar disorder, I'm just, there's something wrong with me chemically. I don't know the full science on bipolar disorder. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just going to share what I think, what I've observed, and what I've read. So I've actually read that the study that said that it was like a high number percentage. It was like 80 something percent of people from the study that had bipolar disorder had reported some kind of childhood trauma. I don't believe fully that the majority of people with bipolar disorder are not born with it. I think it's something that you develop. Now, sometimes I get chemically triggered with my bipolar disorder, and then sometimes I get emotionally triggered, meaning sometimes something chemically will set me off into a depressive or a hypomania episode, like my cortisol levels are off, or I'm having too much of a hormone, or I ate bad, so then it messed up my blood sugar. I don't know exactly how all it works. I just know sometimes I'm chemically set off and sometimes I'm emotionally set off. So there's actually studies that show that people who have childhood trauma, it can lead to a lot of physical effects later on in life. Poor oxytocin production. You're more susceptible to stress. Your cortisol levels can be off. Just things like that. So that's where the chemical part comes in. And then sometimes when I'm emotionally triggered is when something from my past comes up. Something emotional comes up for me. Like a trigger, like almost like PTSD, like I'm reminded of something or something similar. Like when I met my husband, when we first started dating, I was triggered a lot by him. And it was just because I felt so like scared that he was going to abandon me, because of what happened with my dad. Whether it was on purpose or not, whether he got in an accident and died on the way to my house, or if he left me, like broke up with me. I just felt very like vulnerable. But anyways, I don't know, I was watching this video and it just really made me start to think like um you know I truly don't believe that I was born with bipolar disorder. I think it's truly something that I developed over the course of my life, and the childhood trauma, the repressing it, the depression, all of that. Do I think it's reversible? I don't. I think that it's something I have, but I do think that when I address the underlying problems, the chemical problems and then the emotional problems, I think it helps manage it better. So like if I'm having like last week or the week before, or whenever I was having the issues with my trigger about my living situation, that was an emotional trigger. And then a few years ago, I was so stressed out for so long, I damaged my adrenal glands. So I wasn't producing cortisol on my own, which is like, which helps you, get energy in the morning and wake up. And then what helps, it lowers at night to help you sleep, and it helps you handle stress. And those levels were like basically non-existent. I had blood work that showed it. And so I actually had to start taking a supplement for probably like a year to, or it was like 2 years or something like that. And then eventually it, kind of fixed itself over time. I ended up, I got adrenal fatigue from excessive stress for too long of a period of time. So my adrenal glands got fatigued and then they stopped working properly. So that kept setting me off. It kept triggering me because I kept waking up every day and, chemically I wasn't, my body wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. So that kept setting me off, and just like so many things. So I don't know, it's just interesting. Like, I hate having bipolar disorder sometimes, but then at the same time I find it super like fascinating, how the brain works and how the body works and how, you know, something little or big, how it all plays together and how it all works and functions. And I really believe that, like, my bipolar disorder is something that can be managed. And I think that that's the case for a lot of people that have it. But we've, as a society, have fell into this, I have to just take medication. And it's like, there's so much more you can do than just to accept that medication's the only answer, you know? I feel like there's so many more options out there: therapy, blood work, investigating, seeing what's going on. You know, one time a few years ago, I felt so exhausted and tired every single day. Like, I felt like I had no energy, but I didn't feel fully depressed. So I didn't know what was going on. I got some blood work done and my vitamin D levels were low. All I had to do was just start taking vitamin D supplement and I felt good again and fine. I mean, so it's like, I don't know. I just think that people need to, like, if you have bipolar disorder and you're watching this, don't be afraid to, like, go get some blood work and kind of check some other stuff out too, because, you know, there could be something else going on that's hindering you getting better, like your vitamin D levels or your, um, cortisol levels, or, um, maybe you're having trouble with your blood sugar, or, B12 levels. I don't know. Just saying. Doesn't hurt to check if you're able to have a full, blood screen overall and just kind of check everything out and see if there's something else going on that might help get you stable mentally. So just food for thought. But I'm gonna go, guys. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, so I'm not feeling amazing, but I think it's more from my food and how I eat. And I drink, soda every day. I don't drink enough water. And I don't eat healthy. Like, I don't eat terrible, but like I don't eat fruits and vegetables. I eat, like, so for example, this week I had pizza with just pepperoni and mozzarella on naan bread that you buy at the store, and then I just like make it in the oven. It's really good, but and then I've had that a couple times this week, and then I made this like shredded Mexican beef, and then I've had that in taco form with just meat and cheese, and then I've had it with just a tortilla and some homemade Spanish rice I made. But like, and then I've had ice cream, like these little ice cream Blue Bunny, like little mini cones, chocolate. So that's what I've had all week. Oh, and a PB&J. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich the other night. So no vegetables, no fruit. I've had at least 2 little of those mini sodas a day, which they're 8 ounces, so about 16 ounces of soda a day. Not enough water. I also buy some the Arizona like fruit punch tea, so that's sugary. And then the ice cream sugary. So basically, I'm having too much sugar every day. I'm not drinking enough water, and I'm not eating like a well balanced, healthy, food every day. And I really think that it affects my mood. Kind of makes me lethargic, low energy, I don't feel like super great mentally. And they've actually, like, I've read that there's studies that what you eat and how you eat can directly affect your mood. And in the past, I have, there was one week years ago, like, I don't know, 8 years ago, where there was one whole week I went and I ate super healthy and clean, no inflammatory foods, no dairy, no sugar except for fruit, no like wheat or gluten. Like I just ate super clean and healthy that week. And every time I was craving candy, I forced myself to eat an apple. And by the end of that week, I started craving fruit instead of candy. I got up in the morning without any issue. Like, I literally just got up. There was no, like, you know, fog and like struggling to get out of bed, struggling to wake up. It was just like I got up and had energy as soon as I woke up. And my stomach felt better. I wasn't as bloated. After I ate every meal, I didn't feel like tired and like my belly didn't feel fat and full. Like I just felt like my hunger was taken care of. I felt like more energy actually after eating, which is how it should be. So I'm a little frustrated right now because I'm doing this to myself. Like, I know that if I start eating better and start getting some exercise, and it doesn't even have to be like the gym, because I'm not a gym girl. I'm just not. I'm more of a get exercise throughout the day kind of normal activities, like, take the stairs instead of, an elevator, go for walks around the neighborhood. I used to have a pool. I would go swimming in the summer and get exercise that way. Um, take my daughter for a walk in her stroller. Like, I'm more that speed than a gym. I have been wanting to try like yoga or at home exercises, like Pilates or stuff like that. But I'm just having trouble like finding how to schedule that in my day. Um, and most and above all is actually finding the motivation to do those things, to actually like, you know, make an effort to eat healthier, make an effort to exercise. Um, I don't know. It's hard. I definitely, the motivation's not there. Um, and I know it would help me in the grand scheme of things, but it's like I can't seem to pull myself to do it. Um, so I don't know. I gotta figure that out. But I know it would help me. So yeah, it's annoying. I'm gonna really like think about that today and really like think about like why I'm having so much trouble, you know, doing these things for myself, because I know it would make me feel better. And I don't like feeling like this like kind of underlying like crap every day, physically and mentally. So I'm gonna think about it. Guys, I'm gonna go. It's hot in the garage, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, so last night the sadness that I was feeling about my dad the other day, that I kind of shoved away a little too much, came up last night, and I just started like crying while eating dinner with my husband last night, because we were talking about our daughter and how, we want to give her the things that, the emotional like things that we didn't get growing up. And I don't know, I just started to like feel sad, and it just came up, and I just started crying right then and there. And thankfully my mother-in-law had the baby, my husband was home, so I told my husband, I was like, I'm gonna go upstairs for a minute. And I went upstairs in the bathroom, and I just cried for a little bit, not very long though. Not much came out, and I felt a little bit better, but not fully. Like, I still felt kind of sad, and I still do today. Like, I still feel like this like kind of like sadness, like where I just want to like kind of cry. So I don't know, guys. It's hard. um I'm also like, I have not much of an appetite. I'm feeling tired. I'm I'm definitely feeling like just a smidge on the depressive side today. So I don't know. If it doesn't get any better, by like this evening, I'll probably take a supplement and that I take to help give me like a little bit of a boost, mood boost, to see if maybe that kind of resets me back to neutral a little bit. But I don't know, I'm still trying to like, I think part of it too, I'm feeling kind of down is because I'm really internally trying to think about why I don't take care of myself and love myself enough to really take care of myself mentally and physically. You know, like other people tell me, oh, I'm having these problems with my mental health or I'm having these issues. And it doesn't even have to be loved ones. It doesn't even have to be people I know. It could just be someone random. And I just am like, oh my God, like I have so many good ideas. I'm like, do this, do that, do all these things, you know, and it'll help you feel better, eat healthier, exercise, go to therapy. Like I have so many like ideas, but then I don't do that for myself. Like I'll be like, okay, I know I need to do this. Like right now, like I know one of the biggest things that I need to do to help myself is how I eat. But yet, I feel like I'm almost doing the opposite at this point. Like I feel like I'm purposely like eating bad. And I'm not entirely sure what that's about. Like I feel like I'm like trying to keep myself like down. I don't know, it's a little frustrating. Sometimes I feel like I'm like a prisoner of my mind and I don't know how to take back that control and like, you know, escape that and be like, I don't want to say escape because I don't want to avoid things, but I would love to like figure out what's going on so that I can like resolve it and so I can start taking care of myself better because I'm holding myself back. Period. End of story. I'm holding myself back mentally. Like I'm the one that's stopping myself from eating better, exercising, getting better overall. But it's like I don't know how to break that. I don't know how to overcome it. And it's super frustrating. So, I don't know. Just some stuff that's on my mind. You know, it's frustrating. But I have to go. My daughter woke up. I'm going out of town tomorrow, so I will make my video tomorrow when I can. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hey guys. So I'm out of town today visiting my mom and my best friend and my family. And when I go out of town, in order to make sure that I somewhat stay with my routine and I eat and I don't like get too far off, you know, my routine, which helps keep me like mentally stable. I usually like plan out like what I'm gonna do for food. So like if I'm gonna go to eat somewhere and with who, and we kind of like talk about options for places to eat, and then kind of like just a general sense of an idea of what we're gonna do. And then, you know, we don't have to stick to that. Like if something comes up and we want to change it on the, fly, like that's cool too. But generally when I go out of town, even if it's just a day trip, I try to somewhat plan it out, more specifically with my food, because then I'm still eating and I'm making sure I'm getting that food in my system. Because there's nothing worse than going out of town, not eating, being starving and just, it's not fun. So, I don't know. And then I've been thinking a lot about like my issues with eating healthy and taking care of myself. And I was getting my hair cut last night. Got it cut short here. It looks messy right now because it's the end of the day, but so I cut it short, and the whole time I'm in there, massaging my hair and doing it and brushing it, and it just felt so nice to like get a little care, and it just felt really good. And I just really, I think I need to really just start eating better and finding a way to get some exercise and just do it because it's the best thing for me. And I always struggle with it because I'm very emotionally like connected to food, and um I don't know, I think there's a lot to it, but the moral of the story is I think I'm gonna have to just remove my emotions for like a week or two and just plan out my meals. Just very basic, easy, healthy, clean meals, and just suck it up for like 2 weeks and just eat healthy and clean. And just let my body readjust, let my mind get a little clearer because I can't really think that clear because I'm not eating well. So it makes me like foggy and feeling lethargic and tired and just, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to suck it up. But um, I'm really tired, guys. I don't really have much to say tonight. I mean, I do. I have a lot I want to say, but I'm just really tired. So, um, I'll just talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.